Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody sent me this logo, and they're not caring about the background, and I'm not going to do the text. Corel just doesn't trace text very well, but I've already traced it, and I normally use clip art, but this time I traced it with line art because it gave me more colors. But there are some other problems. And you can see like that line right there. First of all, this thing is only 0.69 inches. So I've changed my nudge distance to 1. I'm going to take, and in the original logo, the sun is a different color. Of course, it's a color, but it's a different shade of gray. So my suggestion would be to make the sun black, but that'll be another challenge in just a minute. So we got to get rid of these double line, even though that would engrave right now. You're done. That would engrave. But to make it a little bit sharper, and he's actually said he's going to do it in multiple passes, I think. And I kind of like that. So let's take, the sun's got a background. There's a background on the whole thing. So let's do this. Let's look at this line. See this line? This line is really this color, but it goes all the way around there. So what I'm going to do before I start, I'm going to make some, well, I'm not going to put them there. I'm going to put them over here. I'm going to make some swatches, even though the colors don't really matter. But if the colors did matter, you could know what color you're doing. So get the color eyedropper and take that color and put it there. You've got to go back to the pick tool, take your color eyedropper, get it there, put it inside there, go back to the pick tool, grab the color eyedropper and grab that gray. So we know what gray is in the picture. There's basically 3 colors. But if we get rid of this line, and like I said before, this would engrave, but we can get rid of that line. Let's take this up, nudge it up one time, and there's that line. Let's take that and nudge it over. We don't need that line. We're going to click on our item, and we're going to left click, right click. There are several ways you could do it. I'm just going to put a line there, use the virtual segment delete key, and delete all that garbage. I shouldn't call it garbage. Then we can delete that line, and we can take our nodes and put them together. I would select them both and join the nodes together so they won't leak later. Now we can put that back and let's fill it in with this gray. So get your Smart Fill tool and get the eyedropper and go to that color right there and fill it in. And then take away your outline. Well, let's nudge it out of the way. Take away the outline and move that back up. Now let's take this and move it down. We got rid of that line. Now what we can do is there's a bunch of things you could do here. Probably the easiest, let's zoom in here, would be to take your shape tool and just bring that into that other color. Now we need to get rid of this line around the sun. I'm going to click on that line and see all it was a line. We'll delete it. We're almost there. We've got a line right there. But what you could do is do the same thing we did on the sun. Well, let's do this. let's take that shape and go down. Let's left click, right click. Let's go to effects, contour. Let's contour 0.06. That's big enough. Go up to arrange, break contour apart, grab the old contour, move it out of the way. Take the new contour, move it up, and fill it in with this black. Or this, no, that's the same color. Get your Smart Fill tool, go here to your color, get your eyedropper, take that sample and put it there, and then get rid of your outline. Now, a lot of times you're going to have trouble getting rid of the outline. Just delete it, and let's move this back. And what we did, we got rid of that line around the sun. We've still got a one right here, but it's a shadow. Now the sun needs to be a different shade of color than this other part. So let's left click, right click, and let's draw a line right here. It could be just a 2-point line. And now let's make the sun black. And then we can fill in this color using the Smart Fill tool and the eyedropper. We don't have to do this, but it was probably that color right there. And voila, there you have it. You got some shades of gray. Now we've got a little bit of a problem on the sun up here on some roughness. So let's do this. Let's left click and let's just take those away. Just take your shape tool and just hit delete. I would delete a lot more of them. You know, it's your drawing. You know, I mean, it's their logo, but if you can make the sun look a little bit more symmetrical, and then fill that back in with black. That's what I would do. Then I would take the whole thing and left click, no outline. Now, I think when he was explaining in his email that he's going to run it separately in a job, and I've done this many times, and I love doing it. Is you could color map this if you have a nice laser with color mapping, but you could run the black and the different grays at a different time and different speed. And I would run the black first, and then the next darkest, and the next darkest, and then the lightest, because you can actually control it. You know, maybe this is 100 power at 50 speed, and this is 100 power at, even though it's gray and it's going to engrave a little bit different, if you can change the speed, so 100 power, 100 at 50 speed, 60 speed, 70 speed, and 90 speed, and then that way, if this is not good enough, you can always rerun it. And that's either done by selection or getting it off the page. If you take this thing, we made it quite a bit bigger. It's 20 inches, so let's change our nudge factor to 22. And if you nudged all this stuff out of the way and ran just that on the laser, then move it out of the way, put that in the laser and run that. Not moving your wood, then run, I hit down. Run that, move it up, run that last, and you'll be able to really see the difference of how good that can work. So the one I did the logo for, or this for, you're going to have to find your text or just retype the text out. We've got a little bitty white spot right there, and I don't know what that is, but it won't show up. Anyway, hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.